Happening now, Chautauqua County finally has a new ambulance after one was totaled following a mid-January accident. And Chautauqua County officials are looking at implementing a new boat tax to help fund lake restoration efforts. Plus, we have an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at a charity cooking show that premieres this weekend, with the focus on Jamestown's St. Susan Center Soup Kitchen.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, we start today with First Defense weather with Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson. And Andrew, please tell me that everything I'm hearing now is just April Fool's Day joke.
Unfortunately, no, and this is quite serious. There is a moderate risk, and as of a few minutes ago, it looks like the NOAA Storm Prediction Center is going to update this to a level 5 high risk, which is the highest level for severe weather across portions of Iowa and Illinois. So if you're in any of these areas or you know someone that lives in these areas, please let them know that there's potential for some strong, damaging, long-track tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds today, especially in the areas of moderate risk or the areas of the high risk once the NOAA Storm Prediction Center updates this, as well as enhanced risk. So please let them know if you have anyone in these areas to keep tuned in to their local weather, because watches and warnings will likely be issued over the next few hours for these areas. Back here across our area, across western New York, the NOAA Storm Prediction Center has placed much of the region under a slight risk for severe storms tomorrow, except for the immediate shorelines where they're under a marginal risk. Now, our severe weather potential tomorrow will be risk of mainly some strong damaging winds and maybe some small hail. We won't have to deal with the stronger storms that areas off to our west are dealing with today. We made it to a high of 37 degrees yesterday. The low was 11 degrees. The records for today, 82 set back in 1998, and a record low of 5 set back in 1923. So forecast for the rest of the day at least, mainly cloudy skies with periods of rain showers, no thunderstorms expected today, but the rain may be moderate to heavy at times with a south wind of 10 to 20 miles per hour, and high temperatures today will make it into the upper 40s to lower 50s. We'll have a look at that full forecast details coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And be sure to stay tuned to our mobile app, WNY News Now, where we will keep you updated on everything that happens weather-related over the weekend. A Chautauqua County ambulance totaled during a crash in January has been replaced thanks to a local volunteer fire department. Back on January 13th, one person suffered a minor injury following a vehicle T-bone crash involving an ambulance just west of Jamestown. At the time, a Chautauqua County EMS ambulance was responding to a medical call and was struck by an SUV in the intersection of Fairmount and Dunham Avenues. Town of Ellicott police say that the SUV failed to yield for the ambulance, which was crossing the intersection with lights and sirens activated. Due to the extent of damages caused, this ambulance was totaled and taken out of service. Now, Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell credits the Fredonia Fire Department for selling their old ambulance to the county at a discounted rate of around $17,000.
A lot of times we don't even we don't change the graphics. We just remove Fredonia Fire and put CCEMS. Sometimes even a magnet with not even our logo, just CCEMS on the side, and get it operational.
He goes on to say that a new ambulance costs anywhere between $150,000 to $200,000. During the 2023 State of the County address, Wendell also announced plans to purchase an additional ambulance to be added to the county's fleet as well. Chautauqua County is hosting an information session to discuss the feasibility of rolling out boat user fees on Chautauqua Lake. The idea first made the news in January after a plan to create a late taxation district was shot down. With a funding source dead in the water, the town of North Harmony deputy supervisor brought up the idea of charging those using the waterway by creating a fee to support environmental cleanup. While this plan is not finalized yet, the idea is similar to a snowmobile sticker tax, where anyone with a craft on the waterway could pay a fee to register their boat. The information meeting will take place on Wednesday, April 12th at 5:30 p.m. in the Legislative Chambers. Officials say this meeting will begin dialogue and discuss the formation of a committee to look into such fees being applied to Chautauqua Lake. The end goal for this is to create a dedicated funding source that would be implemented in 2024 for lake maintenance projects. While the City of Jamestown's Director of Public Works is leaving his position as he'll be enjoying the retirement life after almost 30 years of service. Jeff Lehman has been working for the City of Jamestown for 29 years, concluding his venture today.
It's been a huge challenge. I mean, we've gone through a lot of changes, restructuring of the departments over the years, over the past 30 years, and he's always been there. He's weathered the storm. He's been a constant calming effect. He always seems to know what to do, and he always comes back to us every budget year to buy new toys and trucks and so forth.
Taking over for Lehman will be Mark Rietzer, who's already been with the city for the past 13 years.
It'll be big shoes to fill. Luckily, we have a really good staff at the DPW and Parks Department, so I'll have a lot of help, and Jeff will still be around. He's told me to text him anytime he needs to, and he's always willing to give advice or point me in the right direction.
In addition, Ben Haskins with the city's Corporation Council will be moving to the Public Defender's Office. While an annual Jamestown Grapes and Hops Festival is returning this Saturday at the Northwest Arena with a slew of local distilleries and vendors showing off what they got. This festival is a single-day event where participants can visit a plethora of booths featuring New York State alcohol industries. Participants will be able to sample handcrafted beers and wines while touring the local vendors. Guests will receive a pint glass for tasting the slew of different local alcoholic beverages across the 2 ice rinks.
We are so excited for this year's Grapes and Hops Festival. We have over 40 different beers and wines, seltzers, ciders. Actually, we're probably close to like 50 plus on all of those. And we are excited to welcome people into the arena. We're going to have it on both pads, Rink A and Rink B. We'll have artisan vendors, crafters, food vendors, beer, wine, ciders, seltzers, and distillery.
Grapes and Hops is a 21 plus event and requires a valid state ID. Well, as WNY News Now continues, former President has been indicted on several counts of business fraud. We have the latest next. And later, we look into our state capital where some are fighting for abortion rights. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
History has been made in the United States. Former President Donald Trump is now the first current or former president to face criminal charges. Multiple sources say a Manhattan grand jury voted Thursday to indict him on 34 counts related to business fraud. That's the grand jury hearing testimony on hush money Trump's attorney paid adult film star Stormy Daniels not to talk about the pair's alleged affair. The indictment is under seal, so it's not known exactly what the charges are quite yet. Those likely won't come to light for several days. The former president is expected to appear in a Manhattan courtroom next Tuesday. Now, Trump responded to the news and called the indictment a political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. He has previously vowed to keep running for the presidency in 2024. Well, the deadline for a New York State budget is quickly approaching, but it is possible it could be late. Our New York State Capitol correspondent Elise Klein spoke to lawmakers about where the budget is in the process right now.
Several state lawmakers say today the state budget is going to be late, leaving a possibility for a deadline extension. As first reported by New York Public Radio, the governor says while the legislature will not be meeting the April 1st deadline, it's more important to have a budget that achieves the right results. And while some lawmakers agree with this premise, they also say the legislature should push to get a budget as close to on time as possible.
I think it's also about confidence in state government, confidence that the state government that you elected can function, that the trains can run on time, so to speak, right? That things can get done.
So far in their negotiations, lawmakers have discussed bail reform and the governor's housing compact, two issues that some lawmakers say are the reason for the budget's delay. Lawmakers have until Monday to pass an extender for the budget deadline. Some state leaders say an extender will likely not happen before Monday.
It kind of gives the wrong impression. We want to try to negotiate and do something on time, and who knows, maybe we could get to a budget by Monday.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. This week, the Pennsylvania House Judiciary Committee heard testimony on legislation to provide a 2-year window for victims of childhood sexual assault to file civil lawsuits against their abusers. The House already passed legislation that would provide the window earlier this year. However, due to new operating rules in the House, the bills had to be recommitted to the Judiciary Committee for a hearing. At the hearing, advocates and survivors discussed why they believe the legislation is critical in not only providing justice for victims, but also in exposing hidden predators.
Much larger number of citizens in the Commonwealth that are harmed by the window not passing are the parents. They don't know where their children are at risk.
For the latest on this legislation, head to our website at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, emergency room visits due to firearms dropped last year, but the numbers are still higher than before the pandemic. A new study published Thursday by the CDC found the weekly number of ER visits related to firearm injuries began to rise in March of 2020, around the start of the pandemic, and they began sharply increasing in May of 2020 and remained high until last year. 2020 and 2021 were 37% and 36% higher than the rate of visits in 2019. Now 2022 was 20% higher than 2019. The sharpest increase in visits happened in late May of 2020. the same week that George Floyd was killed by 3 former Minneapolis police officers. The video of his death had sparked nationwide protests. Congressional Democrats are pushing once again to pass abortion rights legislation. This comes after last year's Supreme Court decision to strike down Roe v. Wade, which allowed abortions nationwide. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
Last summer, in an instant, an extremist Supreme Court ripped away the bodily autonomy of half the American population.
Following the Supreme Court's decision to strike down Roe v. Wade, which allowed abortions nationwide, Democrats have tried to make Roe legal through legislation.
And we will not rest until the Women's Health Protection Act is the law of the land.
Today, several House Democratic leaders rallied around the renewed push for abortion access, advocating once again for the Women's Health Protection Act.
The bill would create a federal right to abortion care free from the state-level abortion bans that chip away at reproductive freedom.
Even with the majority of House Democrats signing on this bill, they don't have enough support in the House to pass it. The same goes for the Senate. The Democrats have the majority, but still fall short on gathering enough support to pass this kind of legislation. After the Supreme Court overturned Roe, decisions on abortion have been left up to the states. According to the Center for Reproductive Rights, 12 states have banned abortions. Think tanks and researchers say abortion was a major issue in recent elections and could still be a major issue for future elections.
Extreme MAGA Republicans think that they should be the ones who make a decision about abortion care. And we're here to say, back up off the women of America.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Coming up, we have Andrew with a look of the weather coming your way over the weekend. And later, an exclusive first look at a charity cooking show produced right here in Jamestown.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day.
Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help.
When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
lights,
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa, to all corners of the earth. Follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we got some light rain showers falling out there. The current temperature at Jamestown Airport is 37 degrees with a south wind of 10 miles per hour. Well, just a few minutes ago, the National Weather Service in Cleveland issued a wind advisory for Erie and Crawford County in Pennsylvania that will go into effect at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and go until 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. Now, through the rest of the afternoon and evening, I suspect the National Weather Service in Buffalo will issue some kind of wind advisory for the rest of Western New York, and even the National Weather Service and State College might issue a wind advisory for Warren County, McKean County, because besides the gusty winds that will come along with the storms tomorrow, there will be a general wind threat across the area tomorrow. In terms of the storm impact, we're looking for storms to fire out ahead of a cold front that's going to move through tomorrow evening. Storms will begin to fire between noon and 5 o'clock tomorrow. Now, the main threat with any storms that do become strong to severe tomorrow would be strong damaging winds. There might be some small hail, and there might be a small chance, and I stress a very small chance for a spin-up tornado, but the most important thing to know tomorrow that the strong winds will be the biggest impact with these storms. Right now across the region there is plenty of rain and associated with a low pressure system that's way off to the west. That's going to have cold front that's going to stream across the area heading into tomorrow, and portions of portions of Canada and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan are dealing with snow, while the rest of the area is dealing with rain and storms. So let's time it out on future scan through the rest of the day. Widespread rain will continue through the afternoon and into the early evening hours. Then we're going to get into our first dry slot through the early half of tonight. During that dry slot, mainly cloudy skies and maybe a couple of showers. And then after that dry slot, another round of rain is going to move through after midnight into the early morning hours of tomorrow, and there might be a couple rumbles of thunder too. Now we're going to get into another dry slot tomorrow morning. This dry slot will bring in some sunshine to the area, but the sunshine, while it might help temperatures get to near 60, it's going to only aid in the development of some stronger storms, and then those storms will move through again between noon and 5 o'clock tomorrow. Then that cold front moves through, and then colder air will wrap in behind the front and change any rain showers over to some snow showers tomorrow night. But those snow showers will not last long because high pressure will build in, and that's going to provide partly the mostly sunny skies for the day on Sunday, although it will be chillier on Sunday. Here is the extended forecast powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. I highlighted tomorrow in red due to the risk of storms tomorrow. Sunday, mostly sunny skies, temperatures near 40, and I think you're going to like next week, and this is not an April Fool's Day joke. Monday, Tuesday, temperatures in upper 50s. The upper 50s to lower 60s. It will be dry on Monday, a chance for a few showers on Tuesday, and then we might as well just go full summer by Wednesday with temperatures in the lower 70s. But a cold front's going to move through later on Wednesday, and that's going to drop temperatures back down to the mid 50s for Thursday, but at least it will be dry.
All right, we like to see that weather, at least not Saturdays though. And normally around now we would go to the pet of the week, but unfortunately they are not here today. But as they say, the show must go on, so we will go on to What's Next, where we go behind the scenes of a locally produced charity cooking show that premieres this weekend.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Caitlin Armstrong.
Has been quite the experience. I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
The issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
Once those 4 graduate from the academy, it will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A television cooking show where proceeds benefit a Jamestown area soup kitchen's mission to help feed those in need premieres this weekend. Now our Justin Gould is with us with an exclusive look behind the scenes.
So You Think You Can Cook is a joint venture between the St. Susan Center in Jamestown and Channel 716, a locally owned and operated streaming service.
You have 5 ingredients. You have to use 4. If you use the 5th one, you get bonus points, right? But the ingredients were crazy.
The first episode, which was filmed back on February 25th, features 3 local chefs: Nathan Hallberg with Steiner's Pub, Margot Stewart with Ariel's Bed and Breakfast, and Camille Hodnett, who owns her own catering business and works at the center.
My goal that I wrote in a business plan 2 years ago, I want to be like St. Susan's. The irony of it all, I call, hey, so you think you can cook, Cammy's Kitchen? Is it too late? Did I miss it? By the time she and I got done talking, I was her executive assistant. But now a year later, here I am in the kitchen where I belong, doing what I do. Purpose meets passion.
Producers hope to pair charity and a good time.
I just want to have fun. You know, that's the thing. I just want to have fun.
So you came to have fun. Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, we do.
All the proceeds go back to St. Susan's. Yeah. And that's the important part about it.
3 local judges select a winner, taking in the tastes of 2 rounds and trying a pre-prepared soup.
I've seen them cook, and they cook with passion and with love, and that was the overarching theme from each contestant is, I really care, and I put a lot of love and passion into my dishes, and you see that.
Episode 1 premieres Saturday at 7 p.m. on Channel 716 on Roku and channel716.com. For WNY News Now, I'm Justin Gould.
Now I can just already smell that food, Andrew. And you were there for one of those episodes. I heard that your arms turned to jelly and your back didn't like you afterwards, though.
Yep. I was able to help out in some of the behind-the-scenes work. Unfortunately, I was not able to try any of that food, but it did smell good, and it would have been nice to try some of that food.
Weren't you holding the boom mic and you got literally fire went up into the mic while you were filming?
The second show I did, I was the boom operator, and one of the cooks had the flames go up in the air, and it's put the... I can't speak now. It put the fire alarm, knocked the fire alarms off. So that was an interesting part of the show. And then I was doing some camera work for the other show. So you won't see me on there, but I was behind the scenes.
But you got to see what it is before all these other people. And being there, you think it's worth them checking it out when it premieres tomorrow?
Check it out, and next year, if we do the show again, definitely check out the in-person audience. That's definitely interesting to see from a first-hand experience. You get the smells and the taste, or the smells in person that you don't get on TV.
And now the 2nd and 3rd episodes are slated to be released on Saturday, April 8th, and the 15th as well at 7 p.m. WNY News Now and Channel 716 are proud to partner with St. Susan Center for this fundraiser. And that's all the time that we have for us today. Remember to check out WNY News Now on our mobile app. Stay connected, especially during this weekend weather, which is not supposed to be the best. But we'll leave you with this live look over our studio, and at least it looks a little nice out there, not too bad.
Could be snowing.